Shannon.
What's up, Amber? How's it
Hey,
going?
good. I absolutely loved your class on Tuesday. I love that we did the upper four chakras.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of like where the magic is, especially like I absolutely love doing the third eye. Like I don't know why, but like even when I do all seven, I'm like, hurry up and get to the third eye
Yeah, me
because it
too.
just feels so amazing and it really like connects me like to that place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we're kind of looking for. So I loved it.
Hey, I love that. I love that. Yeah. I mean, obviously, as we know, chanting is my one of my superpowers, and I love it's such a gift to share it and then for people to really connect with it because I feel like it is our soul connects with it. Our soul connects with our chakras. Our soul connects with, especially this week, we learned the upper half of the bija mantras or the
Yeah.
chakras. And I think it's a coming back. It's a remembrance when you're connected to these parts of your body, and then you become parts of your soul. And when you open up your third eye, I mean, it's just so instant for so many people, especially us. Not everyone needs to be in the work that we're in, the spiritual work, to feel a connection to your body and to feel a connection to your chakra system. It doesn't have to be all woo woo and like out there for people to be scared of and seem like crazy. It's the reason I love the sound work so much and I love to share it is because it's an instant connection. You feel it right away. And like we feel it when my favorite, yours is the third eye. My favorite, I love it. I do too. I love these are my probably three favorite, the heart, the crown, and the third eye. But my favorite is the heart because when I open up my
Mhm.
heart or when I'm moving from my heart, it makes my day so much different. It makes my reaction so much different. It's yeah, it's like it's just so beautiful. But also I've been working on my throat chakra a lot lately, and it is the first time in my whole life I speak up for myself. I say how I feel.
Yeah.
It's wild. We think this is all mad, like it's not real. And it's once you start doing this stuff, you're like, oh my, you can literally change your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And I never, because I've meditated before, even before I started my spiritual journey, like I've done guided
Right.
meditations, in like a group and stuff like that. Um, but I was still in the human part, just trying to meditate, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so I never really like I heard of chanting in a sense of like, like Indian culture, right? Like they chant. And so I was like, I didn't really know much about it, but when you brought it up, because I was coming from that open place of like open to information and open to new things, I'm like, sure, I'll try.
Right.
It is so, like you said, it is so powerful to come from wherever it may be, right? The crown, the third eye, the throat. Um, and it just brings you closer to, the essence of whether it's, God, Christ consciousness, universe, whatever it may be, Mother Gaia. It really brings you to that place in whatever, wherever you're at. And the humming is so, so powerful.
Mm.
Um, and I absolutely love it. And I make sure at the end of my chanting to do the,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's such a beautiful place.
Yeah, yeah. And if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's we do sound every other week in our group, and we just learn how the power of our voice. We learn the power of our own vibration. We learn that the humming, which is such a simple thing,
Yeah.
obviously, as we're taught, we do when we're children, and then we're told to shut up.
Yeah.
And it's like it's such a powerful regulator. It's such a healer. It's a detoxifier, and we can put it all through different parts of our body and then we can make ourselves feel better right now. It's so
Yeah.
cool because what I also teach is you don't have to go out and buy anything. There's nothing you have to get. There's nothing that's expensive. It is literally your own voice and you just learning how to this, cultivate your hum or where to put it or open your chakras or just do these beautiful, beautiful practices that cost no money. And most of them take not much time. The
Yeah.
Me and Amber are both doing a whole chakra meditation of chanting that we're going to learn our next class. We've both been doing it on our own, and it's so powerful. And it takes like, I think it takes like 15 minutes the most if you right, and like and it changes your whole day. It influences everything in your whole day, and it costs you $0 to do. And I actually learned it from a woman on YouTube.
Yeah, 100%. And I watched the same one.
Perfect.
And you're right. And I've actually been doing it twice. So I've been doing in the morning kind of to start my day. And then I've been doing it. I'll actually do it like when I feel myself getting sleepy and I'm at that moment where if I lay down, I'm going to fall asleep. I
Yeah.
will do it. I will sit up and do it, obviously. And then like boom, I close my phone and I close my eyes. And so I go right into
Oh,
sleep with that, which I think is very powerful. And
yeah.
interestingly enough, you talked about children because I have been doing it with my children as well. We've been doing that. Um, they don't fully understand what we're doing, but I
Yeah.
think that they can feel it without voicing it because I've asked them, like, do you want a story, like reading a book, or do you want to do this? And they choose that. So I think there's something that they're feeling, they're getting out of it. Yeah, that they're not fully aware of yet. So it's really cool how we kind of just implement this stuff a little bit. Yeah. So
Oh, it made me cry. It's
yeah.
just so beautiful to teach children this, to like, God, if we had learned from a young age how powerful we are, I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
especially as young ladies, when we, I mean, you're obviously raising two amazing young men, and of course you have your beautiful daughter. And so like to have known the power of ourselves at this young of an age and the power of our voice and our vibration, I mean, I can't even imagine where we'd be. And I mean, thank God we're in this work now. And obviously we found it at the correct time for us. But it's just, wow, like that's my mission, is to especially teach children, because we are taught at such a young age to be quiet, don't make noise. And I know it's a lot different than when we were growing up, of course. Like, of course, when we were growing up, it was to be seen and not heard. And I know things, parenting is so different now, but it's still, I work in restaurants. People get annoyed when kids are making noise. And it's so
Oh,
wild to me because they're children. And so it's
yeah.
just, and they're the closest, they're the closest to source. They just got here and they're so
Exactly.
close. And so making these noises is so natural because that's what we're supposed to be doing. When you make a noise, when you're humming, when you're just sighing things out, that's detoxing you. That's letting things go. That's conditioning. That's just like releasing all these pent up emotions and letting them go, which is, you don't need therapy. I mean, therapy is amazing, but you don't need therapy for that. You just you have yourself, which is so powerful. And to be taught that at such a young age is really priceless. It's going to be so cool to see how they grow up and like what they turn into just from that.
I know. There's so many times I want to do a video, but we're like because we
Right.
do it, it's like we say quiet time versus bedtime, and so we turn off
Yeah.
like most of the lights are just kind of like, and so I'm like, man, if I were to get a video, you wouldn't even be able to see. Like you
Right.
can right, it's just like a shadow, but I've been meaning to tell you that. Speaking of all this and like time, and because there's a lot of people that live in that, man, I wish I should have, I wish I could have, this kind of thing, and I totally understand that because I used to be there my whole life, but like knowing that everything happens for a reason, right? And I've been learning to let this go even with my kids because I'm like, man, I wish this for them and that for them, and remembering that they're also exactly where they're meant to be right now. You know what I mean? And
Yes.
interestingly enough, I know you weren't able to make it Wednesday, but in the book study group, the chapter
I
was on
know.
surrender,
Yes.
which was absolutely perfect for so many of us, especially myself. So I didn't even look at what the chapter was called. I just jumped on and then I looked down. I said surrender. I was like, oh my God, of course. Of
I
course.
know when you told me
Exactly.
that the chapter was on surrender, when I asked you how your class went, I was like, son of a, why did I have to miss that? Like
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
so sad. Yeah. So
Well,
good.
the replay, I'm going to put the replay in the classroom, but yeah, it was just so beautiful. And I'll have to say, because I did read most of that chapter on the call, it was very challenging for me to not pause. Like I want, because I
But
would, every sentence was just like hitting
yeah.
me. And I so wanted to just like, let's just think for a little while, like, oh, we're on a
Yeah. Yeah.
call, so let me just move forward and then we could discuss. But it was really just such a beautiful, just such a beautiful, like her words are so amazing. Return to Love, Marianne Williamson. And even talking about faith and like, what is faith? Because I just had this conversation with my husband. I'm like, what is faith? I haven't had faith, and I came upon this huge awareness that it's not the lack of faith, but a faith in nothing, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
interestingly enough, right before I was called to want to share that, and something in me was like, no, like, that's not important. And then my higher self guides, whatever you want to call it, was like, no, share. And I'm like, okay. So I shared. I said, I didn't grow up religious. In
Right.
fact, we grew up with kind of void of anything. It wasn't God, it wasn't anything, right? And so there was kind of lack of faith in it, in really anything, not only not in like a higher power, but even in ourselves. So I said I grew up like faithless. I'm not even kidding. I spoke the words and boom, I went on to read, and the next sentence said, faithless, faithless. It says, basically that there's no such thing as faithlessness. It's just having
Right.
faith in nothing. And I was like, boom. And everybody on the call was like,
Right.
how you can't even make that up. I'm like, I didn't
Yeah.
even read this. But it was huge awareness in that in each moment, we're either in fear or we're in love, like
Yeah.
100%. So
Yeah.
growing up, it wasn't that it was void of anything. It was that I had fear in nothing, or excuse me, I had faith in nothing, right? That there
Right.
was nothing outside of ourselves. Didn't matter what it was, God or, higher power, whatever. There was nothing,
Yep.
right?
Yep. I learned that
That was a
from
huge
Bashar.
awareness for me.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're
Bashar
good.
talks about that. Bashar is me and Amber love Bashar, and he is a channeler that channels this being, this alien being, and I can't think of his name right now.
There
Um,
you go.
Daryl. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Bashar is, yeah, Daryl. Daryl is the channeler. But yeah, that's what he talks about. When you have no faith, like that's a choice. It's always a choice. We always have a choice to make. And that's why it's so good to be intentional with your choices, because yeah, when you choose to be not believe in anything, that you're believing in something. You're believing that there is nothing. You believe in the lack of, you believe in the scarcity, and that's still a choice. And many people don't believe that, or many people don't understand that. It's like, yeah, such a bigger conversation we all need to have, I feel like, because people are like, I don't believe in anything. That you do, you believe in that. You believe in nothing.
Right, right,
Right.
that there's nothing. Yeah.
Right.
It's an interesting paradigm to have because like I remember the example of, this woman's like she was afraid to drive on the freeway, for instance, right?
Yeah.
And so even though she was in fear, right, but she was still in faith of something, faith in that
Exactly.
drive on the freeway, I'm going to get in an accident, somebody's going to hit me, whatever,
Yes.
whatever, right? So even
Yes.
though we look at it as fear, oh, but she's still having faith in fear of
Right.
the freeway, right? And that could be with
Yes.
literally anything. And so
Yep.
it's in these moments that we get to look at. Because the thing that I love most about the book Study Group is that it's not just reading the words.
Right.
Because I did that whole for 40 years, read books. Oh yeah, cool. Ching done. Next,
What
right?
do you call it? Shelf help. We call
Yes,
it shelf help.
I love that phrase, shelf help,
I know
exactly.
we do.
But it's and there's parts, that quotes would stay with me, things like that. But
For
but
sure.
overall, I wasn't actually changing any part of me,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so what I love about it so much is that we are learning to actually embody that which we're reading. So when you
Yes.
come to this part about like faith, is in whatever, right? That you're always having faith. How do I embody that? What do I now want to have faith in, right? Because I don't want to have faith in the fear. I don't want to have faith in nothing, right? So now I'm going to have faith in something, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
so taking that and truly embodying the words and living it, I think is
Yep.
what's so important. Um, so for me, I hope you can join us on the second. We're going to be doing chapter 5 at Return to Love, Marianne Williamson. And your class you're doing on the 8th, right? Is there going to
Yes.
be this
Yeah.
one? July 8th.
Yes. July 8th, we're
Vibration
going to go
Ritual.
up and down the chakra system. And it's going to be, when you get out of the class, you're just going to be, oh, you're going to feel, as you know, you feel so good. It's really so empowering to do this. And then I'll teach you how to just to take those chants that we do and just move around your day with that. Move from the heart center. When you move from your heart space and you go throughout your
Mhm.
day, it's mind blowing, the love that you put out and the love you have for yourself. Or if you move from like your crown chakra and you're just chanting this all day long, it is wild how connected you feel to the universe and of course to yourself. So yeah, these are all practices to empower yourself and to feel connected to the universe. Yeah.
And you're wearing a shirt that says love is love. So it's
Yes.
you can't make that up.
Uh,
But you can't.
yes.
Awesome. I love it so much. So both of our classes that we host is in our mentor, Yuki Yoshi. He has a school group. If
Yes.
you're not familiar with the school link to join his group, it is a free community, will be in the description, as well as the link to join either my Divine Essence book study group or Shannon's vibration ritual class will also be listed in the description if you want to check it out. And we'll be here again next week, just kind of recapping the week. I hope you all
Amazing.
have an amazing day, Shannon. It was so nice chatting with you. I love you.
Always. I love you. Bye.